Hello, I'm Philip Brunelle, Artistic Director of Vocal Essence and organist and choir master at Plymouth Congregational Church. What a week this has been. My hope was that each day I could talk about a composer, say some things about their life, what they have done, and give you a little pleasure, a little joy, a little comfort. And together, music is what I believe will bring us together, whether we're having to be individually listening or whether we, hopefully soon, will be back together all singing at one time in one place. But for now, we are separated, and so I'm going to talk today about Beethoven. Here we are in the 250th anniversary of Beethoven, and so much music of his is being heard, mostly instrumental music, his symphonies, his concertos, but he also, of course, wrote some music for voice. He wrote a beautiful song cycle on Ferne de Geliebte. He also did several pieces that involve voice, like the last movement of the Ninth Symphony. He wrote a piece called Christ on the Mount of Olives, which I played the organ for in a performance when I was 19. And I remember it because it had a soprano part, the solo part. You seldom hear this anymore or ever, because it's just a huge range. The soprano part was down to C here, and then up to here, high G. And the tenor part was the same kind of thing that had this huge range that went from here down to here. And I mean, it was an amazing experience to be in a performance of that piece. So he wrote that work. He also, of course, composed pieces that were then arranged. So there's an old arrangement that Dudley Buck did. Dudley Buck was around in the 1880s, 1900s, and he took a melody that had been a solo song and made it into a choral piece, which I'm sure some of you will remember. And then a solo tenor. And a chorus. Well, my first experience with Beethoven was when we moved to Minneapolis, and I started taking piano lessons from Theodor Bergman down at MacPhail School. And this would have been when I was 7 years old. When I turned 13, no, I take it back. I'm looking at this music. When I turned actually 12, Mr. Bergman said, "It's time for you to learn Beethoven." And I remember buying this volume of Beethoven sonatas, and he started me in on them, and he always dated them. When had we started? So that's why I know how old I was. And I'd like to play just part of the first movement of his Sonata Opus 26. which was one that starts with just a series of variations on a theme. And then the coda at the end of the variations. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.